What is up, Lead Generation Nation? It's Jason McLaughlin coming back at you with a video about some of the problems or walls I've seen some newbies encounter when working with Rank and Rent. So today I'm going to be going over them, things that you need to kind of look at dealing with when you're getting into this model. For those of you that don't know what Rank and Rent is basically the business model of taking a website, building it up with certain characteristics in order to get it ranking in the Google search engines, generating leads, and then selling those leads to business owners. Now, obviously, there's different twists and tweaks we can do to the model to increase the likelihood of your business being successful. And that's kind of what I'm going to be touching on today. So before I get into all the shiny tools and that will probably be discussed in later videos, this video is more going to be about the Rank and Rent foundations that need to be laid in order to make this successful. I've seen a lot of stuff online of people saying this doesn't work and they're running into these walls. So I kind of wanted to address these pain points that Rank and Rent people are going to be getting into. And yeah, basically what needs to be done in order to make it successful. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So guys, the first tip I want to speak about on Rank and Rent today is basically relatability. Now, if you are a Greenpeace activist, right, you obviously don't want to be ranking a website for, let's say, this is a stupid example, but a butcher. Or if you are a beautician, you really probably don't want to be ranking a website for like various roofing or construction leads and things like that. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be dealing with business owners, right? Business owners that are in a particular niche that will look for, as I stated here at the top, relatability. Are you suited for that industry, and what is your experience in it? Because that's where a lot of leads and a lot of the business is going to come from business owners. Remember, at the end of the day, you're selling leads, yes, but you're also selling these to business owners that need to find you relatable. The second point I want to touch on is outreach to business owners. So a lot of people go about first building the website and then not knowing it's ranking, they're getting leads in, but then all of a sudden they can't sell the leads, which just leads to an immediately bad memo with regards to your business when people phone and they say, hey, I need this and this service. And you say, well, yeah, I don't know of anyone to do it for you. And yeah, it'll lead to bad reviews, etc., etc. So basically outreach to business owners. Are you going to be cold calling? Are you going to be leveraging on your network? Namely, are you going to be using directories? And are you going to be using IVRs? That's probably one of the biggest sections I'm going to be discussing in my Rank and Rent course, which is dropping very soon for the Lead Generation Nation. We'll be going over absolutely everything in it to make sure that your Rank and Rent websites can be successful. So the next thing we want to look at, obviously, is the industry size in the chosen area. This is also a big issue I see a lot of newbies running into, where they rank for these very niche website things, services, or things to sell leads into, and there's no industry for it. And that obviously goes into location. Are your population sizes there? Is the industry there? Is the need for it there? I mean, the amount of research we need to do to get into it, but once you find that little golden pocket, it's a done deal. You're in the money. The next thing I see a lot of newer people to this model doing is not researching their competition. And now when I say competition, I'm not only talking about with regards to other people providing the service, it's also marketing agencies that are doing this for the particular service. Because remember, if you are selling your leads at a rate that isn't as competitive as what a marketing agency could get them for, then what do you actually have? So that would obviously be packages of the competition, people servicing the areas, servicing the areas of that chosen niche or service or product or whatever you're going for, and the marketing agencies going after it. Price per lead. How much are these marketing agencies or are these business owners willing to spend on a lead? That needs to be categorized and found out. How are they currently getting their leads? Now, there's obviously a lot of services and niches out there where it's all word of mouth. And especially in small towns and communities and that, it's sometimes very difficult to break into those niches. But there's obviously ways of doing it. Another thing to look at is, where is the company listed online? This obviously leverages us into the next point of where we can reach out to these business owners and say, hey, we have a directory on it, and do you want to list on it? And we also have a surplus of leads, etc., etc. And is the service bound by location? This is one of the biggest things I've also seen. Now, obviously, having a service that's bound by location means you're very restricted to that area when getting a contractor or someone that can fulfill those leads. Whereas if it's a mobile service within a greater, larger area, it's much easier to get leads and sell them off once you've established relationships with the business owner. Jeff says, need people who can close the leads. Yes, 100%, Jeff. That's totally right. That is probably one of the biggest areas that business owners are falling into at the moment, is that we are given the leads, and there's no way these business owners aren't necessarily trained on nurturing the leads and closing them. So that's something I'll also be looking at covering with regards to the course we're looking at to launch soon, is that generating the lead is, let's say, 50% of the work, but nurturing that person into becoming an actual paying customer. So another outreach method for that would be that you could offer business owners some sort of service in order to help nurture that lead and get it into a sale. But it's obviously all service dependent, etc., etc. So yeah, guys, that's basically what I wanted to touch on today, was just some of the issues I've seen people run into with not doing their research correctly and getting things up and running. Yeah, that's all I have for today. I'm quite tired. Energy is quite low, but I'm Jace McLaughlin, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.